Hi, second grade, and welcome to today's lesson about AM and PM times. You've probably heard people say, oh, meet me at the store at 11 a.m., or make sure you're in bed by 9 p.m. We're going to dive in deeper to what that means. But first, let's warm up our brain with the problem of the day. Samantha has 2 quarters and 4 pennies. Jessica has 3 dimes and 1 nickel. If they put their money together, how much money will they have? Well, there's a lot of information in here. So let's get our pencils ready and underline the important things. She has 2 quarters and 4 pennies. I know a penny is 1 cent and a quarter is 25 cents. Jessica has 3 dimes and 1 nickel. A nickel is 5 cents and a dime is 10 cents. It gets a little mixed up over there, so I'm going to put my work on the side. And I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to draw my 2 quarters, and I'm going to put 25 on the inside, so I know those are quarters. She has 4 pennies. I'm actually going to put them at the bottom. I want to try to put my coins in order so it's easier to count. 1, 1, 1, 1. She has 3 dimes. Well, dimes are the next biggest, so they're going to go under my quarters. 10, 10, 10. And at last, 1 nickel worth 5. Now that we have our coins in order, we can go ahead and add them up. 25, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. And that brings us to a total of 89 cents when they add their coins together. All right, now that we've had some money review, let's practice some time. It says, what time is shown? Draw the hands to show the time. So I was going to zoom in there, but I can't draw while zoomed in. So the first clock, the first digital clock here, says 6:10. Well, we know that 6 is our hour, so we're going to put our small hand. Oh, that kind of looks like a big hand, so I'm going to change it a little. Our small hand goes on the 6. And because it's just starting to move around the clock, we don't have to worry too much about it being between the 6 and the 7. So if it's on the 6, that's okay. And if it's 10 minutes, we're not going to put the long hand on the 10. We're going to count by 5s until we get to 10. So remember, 12 is kind of 0, so that's the starting. 0, 5, 10. And our long hand goes right there. Perfect. Now, the other clock, 4:35, on our digital, we need to move that on over to our analog. The hour is 4, and the minute is 35. Because it's on its way to 5, and it's about halfway there, a little bit over half, I'm going to put my hour hand kind of in the middle there. So it's 4. Ooh, I hope your hands are neater than mine. It's kind of hard to see where that guy was pointing. All right, that's pretty good. And then 35, let's count by 5s all the way across, starting at 0, which is on the 12. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And our minute hand goes right to the 7. You could also say, well, I know that 30 minutes goes to the 6, so if to get 35, it's just one more past that. So it's whatever strategy is easiest for you. But our clocks should look like this. It says Wendy gets on the bus at the time shown on the clock below. What time does Wendy get on the bus? Well, let's look at this clock here, and we're going to start with the hour hand, the smaller one. It looks like it's sitting between the 6 and the 7. Now, we were talking about before that when it's between the 2 numbers, it's on its way to the bigger number from the smaller one, which means we need to decide that it's 6 o'clock. Almost 7, but 6. So we can cross off any of the ones that don't say 6 on it. Now we count the minutes. Looks like our long hand is here on the 8. I see they have an option that's 6:08, trying to trick you because the hand's there. But let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, which means we are at 6:40. How is AM and PM used when telling time? Well, to kind of warm up our brains with this idea, I want you to think, when you hear AM, When have you heard that the most? In the morning or at night? What about PM? Well, let's think. In the morning, not the morning, I guess it is. I have breakfast at this time. I might go ride a bike at this time. And then I might put on my PJs at this time in the PM, and I might eat dinner. Those give you some hints about where AM and PM are separated on a clock. Now, another hint here is AM and PM isn't just half, so one side's AM and one side's PM. That's not the case. We're going to talk about it on the next page here about what it means. It says, complete the table writing AM or PM to match each activity. So this is where I'm going to tell you that an AM and PM is when the clock goes all the way around. So from 12 o'clock midnight, that's in the morning, 12 o'clock midnight, it goes all the way around the clock until 12 o'clock noon, or as I think of it, lunchtime. It turns into PM, and it goes around the clock again until it's midnight. So from midnight to noon, midnight to lunchtime, that's AM. From lunchtime to midnight, that's PM. So that in mind, let's answer these questions. Ride your bike. Are you going to ride it at 2:30 a.m. or 2:30 p.m.? Well, 2:30 a.m., I would hope you're fast asleep because it would still be dark out. It would be PM because that's in the afternoon. Come home from school, 3:15. Again, it makes the most sense to be PM because if it was AM, you would be in the middle of the night. You would be it'd still be dark out. Watch the sunrise. Well, the sunrise happens first thing in the morning, so 6:15 would make the most sense to be in the AM at the morning. Now, 5:30, you would be cooking dinner. Well, 5:30, some of you might be eating breakfast if you get a really early start. But if you're cooking dinner at 5:30, I hope it is PM. And if you're getting ready for bed, same thing. If you were getting ready to go to bed, putting your PJs on at 8 in the morning, well, you would be sleeping through the day. So 8 o'clock PM would make sense there. It is 2 o'clock. Anita is riding a bus home from the library. It takes 1 hour, 15 minutes for her to arrive home. Show the time on the clock that she will arrive. Fill in the blank with the correct time and AM, PM. So that's important now to add the AM, PM. Otherwise, we might not know what time, if she's getting home in the morning or the evening. So Anita, it's 2 o'clock. So I'm going to do my hour hand on the 2 and my minute hand on the 12. So I wanted to draw where it's starting. We can erase that later just to help me keep track of the time changing. So if she's going to be gone for an hour, 15 minutes, then I'm going to switch over to red for the new time. We're going to start on the 2. She's going for just an hour. So we jump over to the 3. So my new hour hand is on the 3. And then another 15 minutes. So let's count by 5s to get to 15. 5, 10, 15. Also on the 3. So it looks like both our minute and our hour hand are on the 3. Anita will arrive home at 3:15. There we go, 3:15. Now, AM or PM? If 3:15 AM, it would still be dark out in the middle of the night. So it would make the most sense that she would be coming home at 3:15 PM. Today in your Explore and Explain page, you're going to make a list of all the things you would do during the day and all the things that you would do during the night. So one thing that I really want you to add on here would be AM, PM. So remember, AM is midnight to noon, which is also 12 o'clock. So think midnight to lunch, and then PM is noon or lunch to midnight. What activities might you do during those times? Sorry, my handwriting doesn't look the best on here, and it looks like midnight, but it should just be an N there. The hours from midnight until noon are labeled AM. The hours from noon until midnight are labeled PM. So you go to school at 8 a.m. That makes sense. That's the start of your day, the start of a full school day. You read a bedtime story at 8 p.m. It's the end of the day. You're winding down. You're getting ready for to go to sleep. I like this helpful hint here. It's kind of what I was saying on the other page and writing down for y'all, where it says, helpful hint, 12 p.m. is noon, 12 a.m. is midnight. It's good, I think, that they have like names to go with it, because it helps you remember it more than just that 12 and that 12. So let's do this together. We're going to read the clock, and then we're going to circle AM or PM, which one makes the most sense. You're going to art class at 10 o'clock, because the hour hand's on the 10, and our minute's straight up on the 12, which means it is exactly 10 o'clock. If you're going to art class, it would be during the day. We wouldn't be going at night, so AM. You go to bed. Well, my hour hand's between the 8 and the 9, so we're going to the smaller number. It's not 9 yet. And my minute hand is right down on the half hour, which means it is 8:30. And if you're going to bed, it'll be at night, at PM. You're going to play after school. Usually school ends in the afternoon, so that's already a hint. My hour hand is on the 4. My minute hand, again, straight to the top, which means it's 4 o'clock. And if it's after school, it makes the most sense that it's afternoon. We already eat lunch at school, and we go home, and then we play. All right, you guys. Good luck. Have fun solving these AM and PM math problems, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.